Where do you prefer to sit on an airplane?
The first thing that came to mind was the cockpit. That's like the name.
Hey, if you could choose a spot.
Meow.
I know I'm not the only one that thought of it that way.
This is the Woody and Jim Show podcast, a daily recap of everything you missed.
Today is Bring Your Dog and Stand-Up Comedian to Work Day on 107.5 The River. Ricky, you brought your dog Pee-wee in.
Yeah, Pee-wee's here.
He's
roaming around, sniffing everything
sweetie.
still.
And we have an extra voice in the studio.
Steve Byrne is here.
Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Good to see you. Thank you guys for having me.
Comedian Steve Byrne.
Thanks
Been
for
on
being
the
here.
Tonight Show like 10 times. Great specials on TV from everything from The Byrne Identity. I know it's one of the older ones, but it's like my favorite title. And Tell the Damn Joke. You're also going to be filming your next special for Amazon Prime at the Franklin Theater.
Yes. Saturday, August 27th. I think there's like a handful of tickets left for the second show. But yeah, pretty excited. You know, I moved here to Nashville about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Welcome.
And thank you very much. Where was that welcome when I first moved here? When I moved here, it was Christmas Eve, and then Christmas, there was the bombing, and I was like, oh, no.
Oh, great timing.
So this is a good welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't have internet for 3 days because of that. But yeah, super excited to be here and very, very pumped to get to film the special here in Nashville, surrounding area.
Yeah, Franklin. That's awesome. Well, Steve, welcome to the show. Today, we're talking about something that never gets talked about. We always get the other side.
Right.
Bridezillas. Ricky, tell us about the Groomzilla.
Groomzilla.
Yeah, we got Groomzillas too, though. Bridezillas aren't the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, this one Groomzilla who ended up on the Reddit thread, Am I the A-hole?
Okay.
Okay, right.
Because his wife is a vegan, as are a lot of her family members and friends.
Okay.
For the wedding, they wanted vegan options.
Yeah.
That's
only fair.
expensive, though.
Yeah, it is. It's more expensive to eat healthy.
How expensive is lettuce?
You know, for some reason, they mark that stuff up so high that it's just too expensive.
Well, don't get
Especially
the
for this
organic
guy.
stuff. It's just leafy. It's cheap to
It's
feed
plants.
a gerbil and hamster. So I
You
don't
know,
know.
I'm with you.
Maybe
All right,
just
I'm
a
totally
big
with you.
bag of yard trimmings would be good.
So this guy, instead of coming up with a compromise with his wife, he decided to go behind her back and cancel all vegan options for the wedding.
Oh.
All options entirely canceled.
So
she called off the wedding.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he was being a Groomzilla.
Wow.
Well, this
So they
is what
would've
you
had
get
nothing
when
to
you marry a guy named Ricky Arby's. You should know what you're getting into.
You would think.
He's got the meats. But the hardest part about being a vegan is waking up at 5 a.m. and milking the almonds.
That's got to be
That's
tough.
true. Yeah.
Very, very
Accurate.
Who wants to do that at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
Are vegans allowed to chew their fingernails?
That's a strange question that I don't know if I have the answer for.
You know what
It's an animal.
sometimes I just am really curious of like where thoughts come from in your brain. Like what triggers were going off that
You
made
know,
you
I don't know
think
where
about
they
that?
come from. They just all of a sudden they're there.
It's a scary.
It's a scary place to live.
Yeah.
And I have to
scary
say them
area.
or I'll explode. Yeah.
But I feel like this guy can't be the only Groomzilla. There's got to be more Groomzillas
Oh, yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be a ton. I'm sure there is because there's all types. But, I mean, speaking from a lot of the people that I know, the guy is like, okay, you figure out all the stuff that you want. Just get me a tux and tell me when to be
Yeah,
there.
this guy's a little too hands-on. Normally, you
most.
guys just stand back and go, okay, I'll just let it happen.
Yeah.
I think you guys maybe chilled a little bit, but I think more and more men are getting very involved in the wedding planning.
Wait till my wedding. Talk about Groomzilla. Okay.
Yeah, that's
There's-
a given.
I just know there's got to be stories out there. So
Yeah.
if there are, I want to hear them.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the Groomzillas.
But it's the that's the girl's day. I think that like when I got married, it's like this is her day. This is the
Right.
day she's dreamt of since she was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So let her have this. This is her Cinderella moment. For it's like just smash some cake in her face, do the Dougie and the chicken dance,
Right.
And my time to shine's on the honeymoon. That's when I'm going to go a little. But I think for the really, you just kind of like no 8-year-old boy dreams of his wedding day. I don't know.
That's the truth.
Sorry, I don't know.
I have always dreamt of my wedding.
Then
day.
again, there's a select
Steve was
few
right
in this.
Zach and said, I'm so sorry. I don't,
There's a 1% in this country that maybe dreams of their wedding day. But did you dream of your wedding day when you were?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I dream.
Well, that's because I'm always wanting everything to be about me, clearly.
Right,
So
right.
that's why I'm like, I dream of my day.
Zach
Yeah.
dreams about his wedding day more than I ever have.
If you
Right.
pitched a show in the 50s, it wouldn't be I Dream of Jeannie. It's I Dream of Me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've known Zach for like 35 seconds and already got him.
Nailed him. Yep, totally.
Woody and Jim in the morning, 107.5 The River. Thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in right now, we're talking about Groomzillas.
Yeah, and so we actually got a texter from Vanessa, and I feel like this is the most Tennessee thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Okay.
She said, my cousin's husband was a Groomzilla. He insisted the wedding take place near his hometown and that it be on the 4th of July so his groomsmen could all wear American flag ties and
God.
socks, and the theme could be #Murica.
America.
Oh my God.
We're getting married in America.
And then apparently at the reception, there was a large cardboard cutout of him, of his face as a baby compared to him as an adult. Like just this huge cardboard cutout
What in the world?
of himself. There was none of the bride.
Well, you must love this, Zach, because he made the wedding all about him.
Yeah, I mean, clearly that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, obviously.
Template.
But it's not going to be #Murica.
Well, the honeymoon was January 6th in D.C.
Yeah, that's right.
Accurate.
That mystery voice you're hearing is Steve Byrne, comedian, who's taping his next Amazon Prime special at the Franklin Theater. And yeah, nice, very nice. That's it.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
Were you a Groomzilla? When did you get married?
I got married quite a few years ago in Chicago, and we got married at the Lincoln Park Zoo.
Oh, cute.
Oh, that's
At the zoo,
Pretty,
really?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Did she walk out like Britney Spears with the snake around her? That's what I'm picturing.
She's a
It's at the
slave for
zoo.
you. Yes.
We could have used you.
Yeah.
We could have
like
used you. No, there was none of
Primate
that, but
groomsmen or anything like that.
it was a great crew. Yeah, I mean, getting married was awesome, but I just think it's the girl's day. So guys, just step off, let her have her moment, do her thing, and just enjoy the cake.
Just get out of the way.
Yeah, we mentioned the earlier story about how the Groomzilla canceled the food order when she and her entire family were vegan, and he got rid of the vegan options. So that's why she called it off.
So the wedding was over.
So that's actually smart because you know there's going to be problems later. Might as well
at least
stop
she doesn't
now.
have to deal with a divorce later.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
The divorce that's inevitable.
For everyone, according to Ricky. Now, like, when I got married, I had to have a really difficult conversation with my wife when she was my fiance because she would be asking me questions.
Was it about where babies come from?
Well, we had that talk.
Okay.
I brought a pamphlet.
About a week before the wedding.
But I had to explain to her that my love for her was super high, but my caring about every little specific thing with the wedding and the reception, I was totally apathetic. Like, it didn't even register on the scale how much.
Do you think it's because you guys
cared.
don't pay for it? That is like a tradition that the bride's family pays for the wedding. That's why the dudes don't really care.
That might have something to do with it.
Maybe.
Because you're like,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
my money. I don't care. Like, your parents are paying for it, so you pick it out.
I don't think it factors into it. I just really was like, I don't care. I just want to be married to you.
Which goes back to the first thing. Like, if the vegan is paying for all the food, why would he care?
That's true. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
True.
So I wouldn't understand
Yeah.
why you would be offended if somebody's eating leafy greens and you're munching on a tomahawk. It's like, what do you care? You didn't pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
So you're not
Right.
floating the bill. Unless he's
Right.
floating the bill, then I guess maybe. But maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. At least, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe
But I
that
mean,
was
like-
his roundabout way of not wanting to get married.
That was his
Doing
way
that
out.
first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that could be. He may
Yeah.
have tried to sabotage.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, but I don't really understand how. Some spinach leaves is gonna, ruin your chicken.
Yeah.
It was the
Somebody else is
tofu.
eating it.
It was the tofu.
It's the tofu, yeah. It's always the tofu.
Yeah.
So, Steve, your
Yeah.
special that you're taping on the 27th, so it's going to be in the Franklin Theater, which is just a classic place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is different, though, than most hour specials. I mean, everybody here has seen an hour special. Anybody listening, it's somebody kind of standing in front of a curtain, pontificating, stream of thoughts, usually no tethering or whatever to it. But I'm going to do, when you see this thing, It'll open like a late night talk show. The set will look like a late night talk show.
Oh, fun.
But I'm the only one on the late night talk show.
So you'll be interviewing yourself.
To a degree.
Okay.
Sounds like a special Zach would do.
I know. Yeah. My special guest today is me.
Hello. That should be the title of your special.
right.
It's about me.
That's right.
It's all about me.
Yeah.
But
Steve Byrne did an exhausting search to find good guests, and the only person he found was himself.
just me. Yeah.
I was the only one qualified.
But yeah, I you think about if you're thinking it from a writing perspective, right? Talk shows start off with monologue jokes, so those are kind of like topical one-liners.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have panel, which is storytelling. You're telling Jimmy or Colbert a story, which is storytelling. And then the third act of any talk show is the traditional stand-up that's done next to the band.
Right.
So you have 20 minutes of monologue jokes, 20 minutes of panel, 20 minutes of traditional stand-up, 2, 4, 6. That's an hour, and it'll all be under the umbrella of a late night talk show. So it's been a lot of fun working on. It's been
That sounds fun.
5 years of this concept.
Kind of
and I'm very
unique.
excited.
That's
And
cool.
the Franklin Theater is perfect for it because if you've ever done a late night talk show, they only seat like 150 people.
Right.
They look so much bigger due to that bubble lens. But
Oh, is that all the amount of tickets you could sell?
that's right. Yeah.
Wow. Shot fired. Shot fired.
be
Man
here.
down.
He went from welcome to Tennessee to
I had to.
Oh, we'll talk off air. The things that are coming up. You have a dump button?
Yeah.
Always.
No, we're not going to do that. No. But that's exactly what I would say to a comic. But in all honesty, it is the perfect theater. It is gorgeous. I loved it. As soon as I walked in, I saw it. I was like, this is it. Because you want it, like we were talking off air, you want something a little more intimate when you're doing these hour specials. Because you want the audience. The audience is as much of a part of the show as the comic himself.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
And you say there's a couple of shows. The first one is sold out, but there's still tickets for the second one.
7 to 9:30, Franklin Theater, Saturday, August 27th. My good friend Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers, he'll be directing it.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And my good buddy Gary Cannon, who does the warm-up for like Masked Singer and Conan O'Brien, he'll be our audience warm-up. So he's a really established comic. So yeah.
Fun.
Well, that sounds like a great thing. And then, you watch it live, and then you can look for yourself in the special when it comes on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's what you do is you show up and laugh outrageously so you can pick yourself out in the crowd later.
That's right, yeah.
oh god.
That was me. Did you hear that?
And I need all the laughers I can get. The louder the better, because there will be nobody there.
As he stares at Zach.
You can get tickets for the show on Groupon, apparently.
It'll be cardboard cutouts like they had during COVID in baseball games.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, good luck selling those tickets. I know there's a lot
Thank
left.
you. I'm having such a tough time of getting Clay Aiken to open the show. So, wow. Yeah.
Dead.
Trending. Here's what's trending this morning with Woody and Jim on 107.5 The River.
Brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. You can't not love Snoop Dogg. Whatever he's selling, I'm buying. And now Snoop Dogg has his own breakfast cereal. It's called Snoop Loops.
I love this.
And it's all going toward his charity.
And it's gluten-free, I read.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so hyped about it.
Yeah,
It never happens for Ricky.
Never.
She never gets the good stuff.
Exactly. I am so pumped for this.
His charity is called Door of Hope, and it helps homeless people. So,
That's really
I love
so as
that.
soon as it's on store shelves, go get you some Snoop Loops.
I'm 100% going to be the first one that buys one.
No
All over
kidding.
this.
That's awesome. Zach, what you got?
So apparently, monkeypox may have made its first jump from owners to a dog. So I guess there's a case in Paris of a dog that actually got monkeypox that was transmitted by its owners because they let the dog sleep in the bed.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't know that
So
dogs
they had
could get it.
and then it went to the dog. Wow.
Yeah, so apparently there's 10 different animals that can get monkeypox transmitted from humans, and dogs are one of them. So just a heads up, be careful because it's getting more and more rampant.
Do we know if other pets are also on that list, like cats?
There are 10 of them. Cats are on there. Dogs are on there. And mostly there's just like animals that live in the home.
Okay.
Because it's transmitted through humans.
Right.
So there's that.
You have to have physical contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ricky?
Scary stuff. So Kraft Heinz, who makes Capri Sun, which I used to drink all the time when I was younger, they are recalling 5,760 cases of Capri Sun wild cherry flavor right now. They said that there's a possibility that it was contaminated by cleaning products that they use in the factory that I guess produces it. And they haven't figured out how it happened yet. They just know that it would obviously be by mistake. Nobody intentionally did it, as far as they know as of right now.
Thank God that's the worst flavor they make.
Wild cherry? I agree. I hate that flavor. It tastes like medicine.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Like
It's not good. Yeah.
Well,
so
now it tastes even worse.
yeah. Now it might kill you. So if you have wild cherry flavor in your home, bring it back to the store, return it. They will dispose of it, or just throw it out, whichever way you want to do it. Just don't let anyone drink it.
Lunch with Lau. That's what you can win right now. 615-737-9107. A performance and lunch, and then he'll go to the Laboratory afterwards.
Should have expected that.
Yeah.
Should have saw that coming.
I'm sorry. Yeah, pretty much.
He's been saving these up. I have to describe for you an experience that I kind of wonder if it really happened, but I'm sure it did because there was other witnesses.
Okay.
So I know somebody that was born in India, but has lived here for like 20 years. Okay. But they still have a very thick Indian accent. I think more so than other people of the same descent that, have come here.
And become more Americanized.
Yeah, he's still a little difficult to understand. So he needed to resolve something with his mobile phone carrier, right? Mm-hmm. So he's got to call the phone company, and he's got the phone on speaker, okay? So he's got a thick Indian accent, but the person on the customer support end of the phone company is like straight up Midwest American.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of the opposite of what you normally have. Yeah.
Of the actual situation.
Where normally the call center is in India and you try to figure out what they're saying. Okay.
But they still can't understand each other.
Oh, that's excellent.
It was completely opposite. But they were just like, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Could you say that again?
Oh, wow.
Back and forth to each other. And it was hysterical. I'm like, how is this happening? This is not real.
It's opposite Bizarro world.
And then my friend said, like, he's planning a trip to go see family in India. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, it's a problem because they don't understand me anymore in India because of my American, accent.
Americanized.
And I'm thinking, well, we don't understand you here. And they don't understand you at home. It's very difficult no matter where you go.
Poor guy.
So everyone has that in common. They don't understand what you're saying.
This is so I can't imagine how difficult that must be.
Everyone's got to listen more intensely.
I know,
but I've been listening to it for years.
Open your ears, Jim.
Years. It's tough. But it was just, I don't know. There were other people that witnessed this. So, I know that it happened, but I still doubt just a little bit if it was real.
Maybe one day he'll be equipped with subtitles.
Poor guy.
Zach has got your celebrity stuff.
Chris Pratt just continues to prove that he's one of the coolest dudes on the entire planet because Bryce Dallas Howard, his female co-star in the Jurassic movies, actually just talked about how he helped fight for pay equality for her in these movies. And so,
good deal.
I guess like the headlines were that she was making $8 million and he was making $10 million. She went on to say, hey, by the way, I made way less than that. Like the movies did not actually pay me that much money. But when they were negotiating things like games or a ride that was like after the Jurassic World movies,
right? Other things they can get money for,
yeah. Apparently, Chris was like, "Hey, you don't have to have the conversation. I will do it. I will negotiate to make sure that we are paid the exact same, and that you get paid for what you're worth for all of the merch, the games, the movies, the rides."
Good guy to have in your corner.
Yeah. So she was like, "I love him so much for doing that. I made way more money on those than I ever was paid for any of the movies that I've done."
Wow.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Smart.
Love to hear it.
It's about time.
That's
awesome.
And
men need to kind of step forward in those cases because sometimes women can't.
Yeah, they don't have the position or power. It not always is it going to work out that way. It's not always based on gender, but quite often things are in life. But Chris Pratt, you can imagine he probably was in the opposite position. They said when he made Passengers, the movie with Jennifer Lawrence, that she made like 10 times what he did.
Right.
And they were like, and he was in it way more than she was. So, imagine he probably knows what it's like.
Yeah, I don't even remember that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
was
didn't
okay.
do well.
Okay.
It was all right.
It wasn't a big movie, but it was decent. It was a good movie.
Yeah, if you want to read the entire article about what she was talking about, it's actually really cool. You can like the river on Facebook and check it out right there.
Let's play Gender Wars now.
It's time for men and women to answer questions for Gender Wars.
All right, ready for their inquisition for the ladies in the audience. We have Amy in Murfreesboro. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And also in the borough, we got George for the guys. Hello, George.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Let's get to know you with a question. Let's start with Amy first. Where do you prefer to sit on an airplane?
Toward the front by a window.
Okay. All right. Is part of that like you like the view, but you also want to get off the plane as fast as you can?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
And George, what about you? Where do you prefer to sit on an airplane?
The first thing that came to mind was the cockpit. That's like the name.
Hey, if you could choose a spot.
Meow.
I know I'm not the only one that thought of it that way.
All right. We all have a motion picture in our heads about that right now, George. Okay.
We'll just let that sit there and marinate for a little bit.
Not even going to touch it.
Okay. We have a screw for each of you. If you don't know the answer to a question, you can just say the word screw and we'll give your question to your opponent.
All right, Amy, let's get to it. Multiple choice. Is the classic guy movie Kingpin about bowling, gangsters, or horse racing?
Bowling.
Bowling
Yeah.
is right.
Nice. 1-0 lead.
All right, George. Is Moscato a type of wine, dessert, or pasta dish?
It is a wine.
It is a
Yes,
wine.
it is.
Nailed it. Okay, it's 1-1.
Okay, Amy, Diana Prince is the secret identity of what superhero?
Oh, my goodness. I'll say Wonder Woman, but I don't think that's right.
Well, you are right.
Wonder Woman.
Even though you didn't want it to be right, it is right.
I'm sorry, you must accept the point. It's 2-1. George can tie it up.
Kerry Washington played Olivia Pope on what ABC TV drama?
Screw.
Okay.
Amy, do you know?
Is it like Madam Secretary?
No. Kind of the same genre, but no.
Government-y.
Scandal.
Scandal was the name of it.
Scandal.
Okay. All right, that means we're tied up 2 apiece. Amy, Vince McMahon has stepped down as the CEO of the WWE. What does WWE stand for?
Oh, man. WWE, like World Wrestling Entertainment.
Shut up.
exactly
That's exactly what it is.
You worked it out.
Serious?
Yeah.
And
I love how you try to talk us out of getting the right answer every time.
I can't believe I know these.
that
Say
was
it with
amazing.
confidence,
There you
Amy.
go.
With confidence.
You did good, and you just barely beat
All
the
that
buzzer.
knowledge is just rolling around in there. You got to let it out.
All right, it is 3-2. George doesn't have any screws left, but he could tie it up here.
Okay, George. If you're shopping at Nordstrom, what mall are you in?
Oh, goodness. I believe you're in Green Hills.
Yes,
That's
you
right.
are.
Okay, we are all tied up. 3
Nice.
apiece. Perfect score. We are ready to break the tie with Name That Tune.
I will say I appreciate the deep sigh of relief.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know if that was George or Amy, but one of them just was like,
It was me.
All right, we're going to break the time with Name That Tune up to 10 seconds. Amy, how many seconds will it take you to name a song?
I think I can do it in 3.
3
Okay.
seconds. What do you think, George?
I'll do 2.
2. Back to you, Amy.
I'll do it in 1.
1 second.
All right, George, you want to
Amy's
try?
got the confidence now.
Does
I know.
George want to try without hearing any of it?
Do I go for 0 or not? No. I'll let him
Okay.
try.
He's letting Amy do 1 second.
1 second is all you get, Amy. You got to give us the title of the song. We're just going to play it once. And here it
Good luck.
comes.
That's Maroon 5, Sugar.
yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yay! Good
Well,
job, Amy.
You have a head full of knowledge, Amy. Well done.
Amy and George, you
Good
both
game, George.
really
Yeah.
played like champions, but there can only be one. And that is Amy.
Started as a steak and ended up in a towering inferno, Zach. What happened?
Well, here's what happened. And so I'm glad that Ricky actually brought this up off the air, is it's partially her fault.
It is a little bit my fault.
Because you want to find somebody to blame.
Exactly. Okay. So a couple days ago, she sent me a photo of like the steak that her and her boyfriend made for dinner. And I was like, yo, that looks bomb.
It was so good.
So last night I was like, okay, I'm going to grill a steak. So turn on the grill, totally fine. Put the steak on the grill, go flip it over. And I was like, you know what? I love like a good char on the steak. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let me turn up the gas all the way to high for like 2 minutes on each side.
Good plan.
2 minutes turned out to be a little bit longer than 2 minutes.
Did you lose track of time?
I might have forgotten to set a timer.
And did you sit down and binge a TV series instead?
Yeah. I was watching I Love a Mama's Boy on TLC.
What?
That's a different story. But I walked back outside and I was like, oh, God, the steaks. I walk outside. There is smoke billowing out of my grill all over the back patio. Like, literally, I was like, oh, my God.
So you got what you wanted. You got a nice charred steak.
It was nicely charred. I will say...
Was it nicely charred or was it absolutely destroyed by the end?
I turned off the grill, I opened it, and I was like, oh, it actually looks kind of pretty. So I picked it up with the tongs and flipped it over. I was like, maybe the other side needs a little bit of this too. So I will say the fire actually turned out great. The steak was fantastic. It was still pink on the inside.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow.
Crunchy on the outside. It was fantastic.
Oh, my God.
So I was like, maybe I should start catching more things on fire because it turned out great.
Yeah.
No. Let's not do that. No.
Well, go down to the fire department and be supervised when you try the next experiment.
Probably a good idea.
Your boyfriend David has fire training. He's like a part-time fireman. So,
yes, firefighter.
Yeah.
He's out of town.
So he's out of town. So that's when you decided to set the whole backyard ablaze.
Well, I will say this is not the first time I've set something on fire while he was gone. So he has stocked the house with fire extinguishers. So I have one underneath my sink. I have one outside. I have them in every room of the house.
Insane.
See, admit it, if it weren't for David, you would not be alive right now.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah?
Without a doubt. I won't even deny it.
We'd be on the air right now going, it's too bad about what happened to Zach.
Yeah, it's very true.
You should have one of those, for when he's gone, one of those old Magic 8 balls that you shake and you ask it a question.
Yes.
But it's David's response, and every one of the things says no.
That's not a good idea,
You'll
honey.
get hurt.
Yeah.
All signs point to no.
Yeah. So thankfully, the entire neighborhood did not catch on fire. My steaks turned out great.
Woody and Jim in the morning on 107.5 The River.
Jim, we got a story making us happy.
Yeah, this is a parenting story that just makes me laugh. This video is getting pretty popular right now. It's entitled, When Both of Your Parents Are News Anchors. So a mom and a dad, they filmed this at home with their daughter, Bella, who is just an infant.
Okay.
Maybe a few months old, tops, and created this video showing what it's like when mom and dad are used to talking to people on TV.
Good morning, Bella. It is 9:52. Hopefully you slept well. Certainly no one else did, but we're not going to point any fingers. Let's take it over to Robert Byrne for more on the weather.
Well, JR, beautiful day outside, as you can see. Temps in the mid-80s, no humidity. Will we get to enjoy it? Well, if spit-ups, feedings, and diaper changes don't get in the way, we just might be able to make it out of here before midnight.
Well, speaking of diaper changes, we have some breaking news. An explosion at the diaper station. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported, and authorities tell us they do have a suspect in custody. Unfortunately, that suspect is not speaking at the moment, but they have linked her to hundreds of other explosions.
Hundreds?
That's funny.
That is very funny.
Not speaking because
how cute.
Got a binky in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's classic.
Who wouldn't want them as your mommy and daddy?
These people are fun parents. And that's what's making us happy this morning with Woody and Jim. If you have something that's making you happy, you have some good news to share, let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll feature you here in this segment with what's making us happy every day with Woody and Jim on 107.5 The River.
Gas prices have been coming down. I mean, normally it's just a few cents difference between cities. But I'd have to tell you that it's worth a trip to Murfreesboro to get your gas.
How much is it?
$3.09.
Oh, wow.
A gallon. And when I drove into Murfreesboro, when I drove into work this morning on Wedgwood, it was like $3.75 still.
Yeah.
So that's a big savings.
Closer to downtown, you get hosed.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God. They
I
just
did
take
see,
advantage of you.
as of yesterday, Tennessee is like the third lowest across the entire country for gas right now.
Yeah, so
Things
it ain't
are-
as bad as it was.
Things are getting better. Like, I just saw this thing that said that, like, all the things they said, it's, recession, that apparently America is, like, shrugging it off. Like, I guess unemployment, they added like 500,000 jobs.
Right.
It's down to the lowest level since 1969, which is not kind of what we've been feeling. Right. They said inflation chilled out, like between June and July. Like, it stopped.
They're saying it's not
going
to be nearly as bad as all the doomsayers said it was going to be.
Shocker.
Fingers crossed.
Right?
Good.
So, like, these are good things. Let's hope this is a streak.
Let's
in
embrace
the right
the goodness
direction.
while it's happening.
If you are getting gas at 7-Eleven, I know a lot of 7-Elevens, they were here for a while and then they went away. Now they're back in many locations.
Yeah.
Today is Bring Your Own Cup Day.
Oh my God, I love this day.
To 7-Eleven. If you're not familiar with the deal,
All right, tell me.
you can come over and get fountain
my
drinks.
God.
You bring your own cup. It doesn't matter what size it is.
Anything. You can bring a bucket and you can get a
bring in
Slurpee.
you can bring a plastic garbage
bucket
can.
Slurpee.
I'm thinking one of
Whatever
those
you
Home
want.
Depot buckets.
Yeah.
with the
Uh-huh.
I have the best idea ever. What if you just poured like a bottle of vodka in the bottom of the Lowe's like bucket, and then you go fill it up with the Slurpee stuff, so you mix it together, and it's like a
Zach,
boozy
you're so
Slurpee.
late on this trend, but yes.
Yeah, they've been selling that in stores and stuff.
I was saying for free Slurpee day that we put it in a bucket, and then you get straws.
Yeah, it's Slurpees, whatever soft drink they have in the fountain. So mix it with
We're
vodka.
blessed. Exactly.
All right.
I love it. It's a story like that. The first thing Zach thinks of, how can I mix this with vodka?
100%.
Every time.
All of a sudden, this is a much more interesting
This
story
is
than
going
I
to help
thought.
me
Way
get that
better
sweet
idea.
alcohol into my body.
Yeah.
So yeah, go buy a big old garbage can and head to 7-Eleven.
Trending. Here's what's trending this morning with Woody and Jim on 107.5 The River.
Brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Zach.
So Miller High Life is apparently selling alcoholic ice cream bars that taste
Yes.
like a dive bar.
I was going to talk about this.
It's wild.
It tastes like a dive
Yes.
bar.
Yeah, so each bar has like beer flavored ice cream, a hint of tobacco smoke flavoring, a peanut swirl because every good dive bar has peanuts.
Peanuts on the bar.
Yeah, and then this is the nastiest. I like gooey caramel, but their explanation of it is to represent the sticky floor of a dive bar. So yeah, they're out and they're $6 a bar, which I feel like $4 max. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be intrigued to try
But think
it.
about how much a beer is now.
True.
Yeah.
Usually
a beer
at
is
least
like
$6.
$6, so I guess it kind of makes sense that
Yeah.
the
Stadium
dive bar would
prices,
be.
they're like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would give it a try. Jim?
Ezra Miller, star of The Flash and some of the Harry Potter, I don't know what you call them, sequels, but the Beasts movies.
Oh, right.
He has been wanted on a whole bunch of charges in Hawaii. He just recently has been wanted for burglary in Vermont, and he's been unable to be caught. His representatives, I believe, possibly a lawyer, have said that he is checked into a place in which he can address his complex mental health issues.
Let's hope he gets the help he needs.
Hopefully that is the case and that is real. He is still wanted by the cops. They haven't said where he is. This might be a preemptive thing to be like that's their strategy of how to defend him or whatever.
Wow.
But
Well, we
bottom
know he
line,
does need the help. So.
he does need the help. So
It's
I
good
hope,
that he's
I
doing
hope it's
that.
real.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Ricky, what you got?
So I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can make a lot of money fishing. Well, specifically, you have to fish marlin, white marlin.
Okay.
Because there was a guy who was in a fishing tournament who won over $4.5 million for catching a 77.5-pound white marlin.
Now, those are the big fish that have swords on their faces.
Yes, the scary fish that you don't want to see face to face in the ocean.
You would sword fight with. Yeah.
Yes. They had a White Marlin Open in Ocean City, Maryland, and that's where they caught this fish. They said that There was only 155 white marlin caught and 59 blue marlin caught, which is a drop from last year, like a 750% drop from last year.
Wow.
So less fish caught this year than they did last year.
But one of them
was the big guy, the big winner.
Wow. Good for him.
Over $4.5 million.
Yipes. Woody and Jim in the morning, 107.5 The River. Science. They're all about coulda and not about shoulda. As a guy looked at a snake and said, you know what? It needs legs.
Yeah.
So a guy on YouTube has posted his invention, which is legs for snakes.
It is extremely terrifying to see this. I guess he was like looking at different animals and creatures, kind of like lizards, and he was like, yo, a snake is basically a lizard without legs, so the snake wants its legs back. And so decided to create a robot where it's basically like this clear cylinder in the middle. Then it has lizard-looking legs on the side. So they put the snake in the middle, and then the legs turn based on which way the head of the snake is turning.
Oh, it follows the head's lead.
That's kind of cool, though.
It's kind of really
the tech
cool.
is amazing.
It looks like one of those tubes you would throw through the thing at the bank. You know,
it does. Yeah.
Right. But who decided snakes needed fixing?
Right, got to fix snakes.
Alan Pan is his name. That's who.
That's the guy.
I literally was like, why would somebody do this? Oh, they love creating nightmare fuel.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. We don't have enough things to be frightened of in the world right now.
I'm already terrified of snakes.
We want snakes that can go upstairs.
Yeah.
Well, they already can.
They could. They can slither up. Yeah.
They climb trees. I am not as scared of a iguana, like, they've got legs.
Yeah.
More scared of snakes because they slither.
Yeah, you don't see them coming. Really?
Yeah.
If they have robot legs,
heck too.
If they have robot legs that go zzz, 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 you'd be able to hear them coming and be able to run for your life.
Yeah.
How do they stay in the tube? Do they strap them in?
No, it didn't strap it in. Literally in the video, he's like, okay, let's see if the snake likes it or not. And the snake, they put it in the tube. And it just stayed there.
So it enjoys the tube.
It enjoyed being there.
So they figured that this is the snake's natural environment. Yeah, we'll just put him in this tube.
Well, and also, I will say, it was his pet snake. So I feel like he would know if the snake hated it or liked it. So he was like, oh my God, she actually likes it. She likes being in here. And then the weirdest part is every time it turned its head to a different way, the legs would start moving it that way.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's weird.
It's really, really wild. I put a blog together so you can actually watch the video and see this nightmare fuel for yourself. You can follow our Instagram. It's at 1075 The River and check our Instagram stories. There's photos, there's videos.
I wonder if
it's a lot.
If the snake becomes obese because he's not getting the regular exercise of slithering.
Actually, good question.
I wonder if the
eventually
snakes
he's going to outgrow the tube.
That's what he says.
They've been waiting for this moment.
Right. He said, okay, it's been
If it didn't
10 million
slither
years.
out of it, I kind of feel like the snake is like, yes, it's time.
This is what I wanted.
I feel like for us, it would be the same comparison of like the robotic scooters at Walmart or something. Like, yes, I want to sit down and relax. Let something else work for me.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
So when snakes go to Walmart, they'll be able to, use the feet.
Exactly.
They'll still need help getting things off the high shelves.
Right.
Please don't try yourself. Ask an associate.
Now, this is his pet snake.
Yeah.
And it's a girl.
Yes.
I mean, not to sound totally ignorant, but how do you tell if it's a boy or a girl snake?
Well, actually, fun fact, male snakes have 2 things of male genitalia.
They do?
They have 2. So
it's pretty easy to tell.
Easy to tell.
One for home and one for away games?
This is not a basketball player, okay?
Right, okay.
Until they get bigger legs.
We'll give you some science news before you have to go to school.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for listening to and recommending the Woody and Jim Show podcast. Listen to Woody and Jim in real time every weekday morning on 107.5 The River, Nashville, or live on the iHeartRadio app.